Welcome to a heartfelt tale of hidden truths, forgotten bonds, and the undeniable power of forgiveness. Set against the bustling backdrop of a warm kitchen and the comforting aroma of handmade noodles, this story follows Xiaolong, a humble young cook whose life takes an unexpected turn when a mysterious guest tastes his dish. Beyond the culinary dreams and restaurant rivalries lies a deeper story of two brothers, a mother burdened by a silent past, and a father whose quiet wisdom holds everything together. Sit back, relax, and step into a journey where love and healing prove that blood is always thicker than water. Chapter 1. The Taste of a Secret. The dining room of the grand restaurant was alive with the gentle clatter of porcelain and soft background music. In the center of the main table sat a steaming dish, French lobster paired with delicate, hand-pulled noodles. A wealthy woman named Auntie Fan took a single bite. Her fork paused. The rich flavor of the broth and the smooth texture of the noodles hit her with a sudden, overwhelming wave of memory. "Mom, is there something wrong with the dish?" asked her son, Fong Xiaolong, who ran the establishment. "No," Auntie Fan whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "It's delicious." "Can I meet the chef?" A young man in a clean white apron stepped out from the kitchen. He had a humble smile and bright, honest eyes. "Hello, my name is Fong Xiaolong," he said. Auntie Fan stared at him, her eyes locking onto his face. "Xiaolong," she repeated softly. Yes," Xiaolong said, scratching the back of his neck. "My name only differs by one character from the boss's name. But I'm just a junior cook here." "Did you make these noodles?" she asked. "I cooked the lobster dish," Xiaolong replied politely. "But to be honest, the noodles themselves were made by my father. He runs a tiny place called Young Fu Noodle House. It's not a big shop, but his noodles are amazing." Auntie Fan wiped a tear from her eye, hiding her face for a second. "I haven't tasted noodles like this in ages," she said quietly. "Keep working hard, young man. You have great talent." Determined to save the struggling restaurant, Auntie Fan decided on the spot to invest another $2 million into her son's business. But she had one firm condition. Promote Fong Xiaolong to head chef, she instructed Fong Xiaolong later that day. Let him take charge of the signature lobster noodle dish. Fong Xiaolong was surprised. "Mom, isn't it too soon? He doesn't have the senior qualifications yet. What will the other chefs think? When you wanted to start this business, you had no experience either," Auntie Fan said gently. "I believed in you then. Now, I am asking you to believe in him." Chapter 2. The Weight of Guilt. Auntie Fan's sudden fondness for Xiaolong did not stop at a promotion. A few days later, she presented Xiaolong with an expensive luxury watch as a reward for his hard work. Xiaolong was overwhelmed and tried to hand it back. "Auntie, this is far too expensive. I really can't accept this." "Keep it," Auntie Fan insisted with a warm smile before quickly heading for the exit. "You deserve it." Fong Xiaolong watched from afar, feeling a strange mix of confusion and jealousy. His mother had never bought him a watch like that. She rarely visited his restaurants, yet now she was constantly stopping by to see Xiaolong. "Mom, why do you care so much about him?" Fong Xiaolong asked her in private. "What makes Xiaolong so special to you?" Auntie Fan avoided her son's gaze, her heart heavy with a secret she had carried for decades. Years ago, right after Xiaolong was born, she had abandoned him and his father, old Fong. She had walked away to pursue a comfortable, wealthy life, eventually marrying Fong Xiaolong's father and having Fong Xiaolong. But the guilt had eaten away at her soul every single day. She had built a wall around her heart, unable to give full motherly love to Fong Xiaolong because every time she looked at him, she was reminded of the child she had left behind. And now, fate had brought her face to face with the son she had abandoned. "I have 2 sons," she wept in silence later that night. "And because of my past mistakes, I feel like I don't deserve to be a mother to either of them." Chapter 3. The Truth Unveiled. Old Fong sat in his humble noodle shop, his health fading as his heart condition worsened. One afternoon, Auntie Fan came to visit him in secret. The two old friends looked at each other across the wooden table. Decades of silence hung between them. Long time no see, old Fong said softly, offering a faint, forgiving smile. I didn't dare to face you, Auntie Fan confessed, her voice shaking. All I feel is guilt for what I did to you and Xiaolong. It's all in the past now, old Fong replied gently. Xiaolong has grown into a good, handsome young man. He learned to make noodles, and he has real talent. I only hope that one day he can forgive you, so he can also learn to forgive himself. But secrets in a small town do not stay buried forever. Wang Shuai eventually discovered the painful truth. Xiaolong was his older half-brother, and Annie Fan was Xiaolong's birth mother. Shocked and confused, Wang Shuai confronted Xiaolong late one evening outside the kitchen. Annie Fan is leaving for Beijing tomorrow, Wang Shuai said abruptly, his voice filled with emotion. Why are you telling me this? Xiaolong asked, wiping down the counters. What does her business trip have to do with me? Because she's your mother, Wang Shuai shouted. Have you ever wondered why she treated you so well? Why she gave you that watch? Why she promoted you? She is your birth mother, Xiaolong. Xiaolong froze. The dish towel slipped from his hands. That's impossible, Xiaolong whispered, his head spinning. My dad told me my mother left us when I was a baby. Auntie Fan is a rich lady. She can't be my mother. Xiaolong ran home to ask his father. Old Fong looked into his son's eyes with deep sadness and finally nodded. Blood is thicker than water, Xiaolong. She had her reasons, and she regrets it every day. Go speak to her before she leaves. Chapter 4, A Mother's Farewell. Xiaolong stood outside Annie Fan's hotel room. He knocked softly on the door. When she opened it and saw him standing there, her eyes filled with tears. Auntie. Are you really my mother? Xiaolong asked quietly. Auntie Fan swallowed the lump in her throat. Seeing the pain and confusion in his eyes, she chose to protect him one last time from the burden of her past. No, she lied gently, forcing a calm smile. I am not your mother. Your mother was a selfish person who didn't deserve you. Your father is a good man, Xiaolong. Listen to him. Xiaolong looked at her, sensing the immense emotion behind her eyes even if she wouldn't admit it. I brought you some new vegetable noodles I made, Xiaolong said, handing her a small box. I wanted you to try them before you leave. Thank you, Xiaolong, she whispered, taking the box with trembling hands. Take good care of yourself. As Xiaolong walked down the hallway, Auntie Fan leaned against the doorframe, clutching the noodles to her chest and weeping quietly. She knew she could never undo the past, but seeing her son grown, kind, and talented gave her a peaceful closure she had sought for 20 years. Chapter 5, Shared Joy and Bright Futures. Months passed, and warmth returned to the family. Old Fong underwent a successful heart operation, surrounded by his loving children and close friends. The dark clouds of the past cleared away, making room for celebration. Wang Shuai and his fiancée, Fontian, held a beautiful wedding. The banquet hall was filled with golden lights and fresh flowers. Old Fong stood on stage, holding his daughter's hand before handing her to Wang Shuai. Promise me you will cherish her, Old Fong said, his eyes teary with joy. Keep her warm, be her support, and give her a lifetime of happiness. I promise, Dad, Wang Shuai said earnestly, taking Fontian's hand. Under the applause of family and friends, the couple exchanged rings and sealed their vows. Xiaolong stood nearby, clapping with a bright, genuine smile. Beside him stood the girl he loved, holding his hand tightly. During the evening reception, surrounded by laughter, delicious food, and family photos from childhood, someone cheered. Hey Xiaolong, isn't it your turn now? Xiaolong blushed, pulling a velvet ring box from his pocket as everyone cheered and laughed. He knelt down in front of his partner, looking toward a future filled with love, forgiveness, and new beginnings. The struggles of yesterday were finally behind them, replaced by the simple, sweet taste of home. Conclusion. In the end, The path to healing was paved not by hiding from the past, but by learning to let go. Though years of silence and regret could never be completely erased, the courage to forgive opened the door to a brighter tomorrow. From small noodle shops to grand family celebrations, Xiaolong and his family discovered that true strength isn't found in holding on to old grievances, but in surrounding each other with warmth, honesty, and unconditional support. As new chapters begin and rings are exchanged, the story leaves us with a simple, enduring truth. No matter how broken a family's journey may seem, love always finds its way back home.